Okay, I think that's running. All right, now, first problem is, thank you very much for stopping by. This is very informal tonight. As you know, we're coming up on our 100th, sorry about that. We're coming up on our 100th video, and we're going to be doing a live stream for that. And it kind of dawned on me, we had never done any live streams before. So I thought, we should probably test it out before we actually do it. So, really appreciate you being here tonight. Don't expect a lot of you to be here, but those of you here really appreciate it. And I'll talk a little bit about what we're planning on doing the 100th episode, but let me talk a little bit about, I know a lot of you have been watching my videos, or some of you might be new to this, you went by, you took a look at this. My name is Norman Beckles, and one of the things that really excites me is showing people new technology. And one of the things that's been getting me for the last 15, 20 years is that I know what is capable, what things are capable, what things can be done. And a lot of times I see people not using that. And I'm not saying that you have to always use technology, but if there's a technology that's out there that you can use easily, I really get excited when you adopt that new technology. So my goal is to try and show you as much of that new technology as possible, because a lot of it, it's actually getting easier. When I first started doing websites, for example, you had to code in HTML, and you still can, obviously. But now with things like Wix, you can put together a website, drag and drop, and put a website up in 30 minutes. Boom, done. And there's a lot of other things out there like that. One of the things that also happens is that people tend to get set with whatever it is. You learn how to ride a horse, you're all set with that. The motor car comes by, and you're like, I don't feel like dealing with that. I already know what I'm doing here. When it's not that much of a shift to go from here to there, and the benefits of going from here to there are enormous. And so that's what I try and share with you guys. I want to share as much of this technology, have a little bit of a knack for taking something and playing with it and figuring out how to simplify it and make it work. And that's what I want to share with you. That's what I've been sharing with you in these last 98 videos, showing you, okay, hey, did you know you could do this? Or did you know that you could do that? Now, obviously, people are on different levels, and so we've tried to do some stuff that's like really technical for those of you who are more than just novices. And the problem with that is that then the other guys don't like that. So on YouTube, they say there's riches in niches. So we try to specialize in this or that. So what we've actually done is we're going to be launching a couple of different channels. There's one already that's been launched, which is called 2-Minute Tech Talk. And those are 2-minute videos. That's it, 2-minute videos. And they tell you about some technology that you can go out, as soon as you listen to the video, you can go out and get that technology and apply it today. So we're going to have that. We're going to take all of our in-depth, long, huge projects, and we're going to put those in the back end and make that kind of like a membership thing. And it's going to be like $1 a month. Literally, it's not going to be a lot. It's going to be like maybe $1 a month. But those videos are going to be extremely long, but they're going to go into a lot of detail as to how to pull some of this technology together. So here we are in the studio, and even here in the studio when I came out tonight, I was like, we have all these projects that we've done parts 1s and 2s of, and we want to finish those up, and that's what our goal is. So starting from video 101, we want to kind of wrap some of these projects up. So I'm really excited that you guys are here. I'm going to go to the chat window in a minute and actually chat with some of you guys, and you can ask some questions. So what are the things? What are the big things that I see right now? What is it that I think you should be really getting into? And it's two or three different things, and let me tell you what those are. All right, the first one is what I would call smart home or smart whatever. There are so many ways to, you hear all this IoT, Internet of Things, and all that really means is that the device is connected to the internet. Why is that a big deal? Well, because once it's connected to the internet, then you can interact with it. And we're going to do a couple of those in a minute. I'm going to do some in real time. So you can interact with that, and that's huge. So you had all these things that were in the real world that you couldn't talk to, or you couldn't get them to talk to each other, and then you had this internet over here, and now the two of them can move back and forth. And again, I know it sounds high level. I'm going to talk about what some of those pieces are. So that's one thing, this Internet of Things, making things smart. The second thing is this, I have one here, which is the Amazon Echo. Amazon Echo or Google Home. I'm really not a big Google Home fan, so if you're looking for Google Home tips, don't come to me because I'm not using it. And I'll tell you why. The Amazon Echo platform is, in my opinion, much more open than Google's, which means people are creating more and more things. And I'm going to talk about that. I did a video 2 weeks ago where there's a website for $20 a month, and you only have to sign up for 1 month if that's what you want to do. You can create your own Amazon Echo apps without any programming. It's all drag and drop, and then you can make it do things for you. So that's one of the the pieces for that. That's one of the reasons I get excited about that. So why do I get excited about that? Because it's easier for people to talk than it is to code or to hit a button or to do XYZ. So to be able to just say, Alexa, do this, Alexa, do that, Alexa, what time is it? Sorry, what time is it? Obviously pretty stupid, but Alexa, do I need a raincoat? Alexa, turn on start my car. I have my car hooked up. So on cold days, I wake up, I say, good morning, she reads me the news, she tells me what the weather's like, she tells me what the traffic's like, and then I can say, okay, yeah, it's really cold out. Alexa, start the car, and she starts my car because I've made that connection. And I'm going to show you guys how to make those kinds of connections too. Simple, simple, simple stuff that you can do. And then the third one is AI or artificial intelligence, or the fact that you can have the computer figure out what's this, what's that, and make decisions based upon that. And it can be very simple. It doesn't have to be, when I say artificial intelligence, it can just be, if this happens and that happens, then do this. For me, that's artificial intelligence. There's certainly much more that's going to be coming out, but those are things that people can use now. And then a lot of these other smart things that are out there, they're dirt cheap. Things like security cameras. When I started doing this stuff, security cameras were, you had to buy a DVR, that was like $1,000. Then you had to buy the cameras, and those were $200, $300, $400. And then somebody had to come in and hook those up, and they had to run the wires, and you had to get the screen. It was a huge screen, and had it on the thing, yada, yada, yada. And then if you wanted to look at it, you had to go in there. Now a lot of my clients, I say, go out and get Arlo, go out and get Blink, go out and get Ring. They go out, I work with them, but for all intents and purposes, they go out and get the camera, hang it up, and they're done. Especially Arlo. Arlo's the little battery ones. You hang those like you're hanging a picture. You want one there, you hang it there. You want one there, you hang it there. And it comes with the app to automatically allow you to view it from anywhere and all that other stuff. So what I'd like for you to do and for us to do together is look at how many different things you could automate. Sorry. How many different things that you could automate. For example, when I leave the house and my wife leaves the house and my son leaves the house, sometimes we leave the TV on. We leave the stereo going, or we leave the lights on. That's now all controlled artificially intelligent. It now says, hey, look, if all three of them are gone, there is no reason for the TV to be on. Turn the TV off. Okay? Simple, simple things like that. And then again, as I said, with the Amazon Echo, there's many, many, many more things that you can do with your voice to get it to do that, and then have it work with the outside world. All right, so let's actually talk about what some of those are. I'm going to show you a couple little crazy things, and then we'll do a little project here, real simple project, so you can take a look. So one of the videos that I did, and that's the other thing, which is some of these things I've already covered, and there's long videos. So when you get through watching this, if I say something you're interested in, like how to make your own Amazon Echo app, or how to do some of this artificial intelligence, or how to get, there's probably 98 more videos back there that you can look at that I've already made. But what happens is if you don't know to look for those videos, you never discover those. Not everybody goes through my playlist one video at a time. So that's another reason for doing these live broadcasts now, and we also do a podcast, so that I get you, you're sort of kind of going around, and then I say, hey, did you know that you could do this? And you're like, wow, no, I didn't know you could do that. And then I can say, okay, there's a video over here that does that. All right, so in one of the videos, I talked about using a service called IFTTT, which is if this, then that. I'm not going to go in detail now because we're just kind of hanging out. Basically, it's a free website, and there's all these services on there. And they have usually two things. They have triggers, and they have responses. So they have things. And now, that noise, by the way, that was another app that I talk about, which is Life 360. Life 360 uses your phone to, you put it on your family members' phones, and you can look down and you can see, okay, you know, Sarah's here, Bill's here, so on and so forth. And then you can have it make a sound when somebody arrives or leaves that location, okay? So without even looking at that, I know that's my friend Corey, who's probably just leaving work, and that noise will tell me, oh, she's probably, and I'll hear another one, and I'll keep it in the back of my mind. I'll probably hear another one in 30 minutes, and that means she's home, okay? So, and that service is like $4 a month. Not only we use it for that, but we used it when we just had our last Euro trip, because there was 9 or 10 of us spread out over Amsterdam. And without that, we would not have known, oh, hey, you know what? We're here on this street. Paul and Mary are their next street over. Hey, Paul and Mary, let's meet at the Heineken brew thing and grab a beer, because I can see we're right there. So I use that all the time. Nothing creepy about it. It's only family members, only your own people. You're all set, ready to go. Okay. So IFTTT has all these services, all these triggers, all these responses. So the triggers are when this happens, and it could be whatever. When your car runs low on fuel, when the water filter in your, so they've already got all these great services that are already, so you have these triggers. Then you have these responses, and these are the things you can make it do. So I can say things like, when, and Life 360 is one of them, when Corey leaves XYZ, turn on the light because she's on her way there. Or when the last person leaves such and such, do this. You guys can do that right now. It's dirt simple. It's free, so you can't get much cheaper than that. Excuse me. It's free, and it's very easy to use. All you gotta do is answer. You gotta answer 2 questions. What do you want? What am I waiting for to happen? The trigger, and what do you want me to do when that happens? You'll be making these things. I have probably about 20 or 30 different IFTTT apps that I have. So that's for you novices, okay? For you next step up guys, one of the services they have is what's called a webhook. And a webhook either gets information coming in via the internet or sends information out via the internet. Dirt simple, easy to do. Again, have a video about that. One of the webhooks I have works with the Raspberry Pi. Again, you guys, if you don't know what it is, don't worry about it. Raspberry Pi is a little tiny computer. We're going to do a lot of projects with that in the back end because they're really great projects. Anyway, it's a little $5 computer that you can buy, and it's very easy to use, very easy to program, yada, yada, yada. In any event, so for you next level guys, so you can actually use IFTTT with a Raspberry Pi and have it do something. Now, on the Raspberry Pi, you can make, I'm doing it with my fingers, but you can make a switch open and close. So now we get into something kind of interesting because now we can make it do things. So for example, you may have noticed these before. This is my little homage to a show called The Thunderbirds, which was done in the 1960s. They've actually had a couple of different reboots of it. I think it's enjoying a reboot right now, kind of sort of like a Doctor Who thing. And anyway, these brothers used to have all these great spaceships, which is probably no surprise that I got into all of these gadgets. In any event, in one of the, when the pictures were up on the wall, when one of the brothers would send in a message to their father or they needed to contact them, the eyes on their picture would light up, and that's how he would know that's what that was, and then he would go ahead and do that. So in one of my projects, I showed, so these are just regular pictures, except this guy here, John. John, I felt bad for John. For those of you who know Thunderbirds, I felt bad for John. He's stuck up in space all the time. Nobody talks to him. But anyway, so what we've done here is this is a picture. The Raspberry Pi is incredibly thin, so it's actually, you see a little wire right there. There's actually a Raspberry Pi behind that. There's a hole in the wall that goes down through there, and it plugs into just a regular power pack. So basically, that Raspberry Pi is on 24/7. It uses like 1/1000th of a volt of electricity in any event. And I have a webhook that is controlled by that. So to actually make that happen, I can actually issue a, because Alexa is one of the IFTTT services. So when you use Alexa with the IFTTT, you have to say trigger. Okay, so you would say Alexa trigger, and then it knows it needs to go to IFTTT. But then you can say whatever you want, and then you can say when the person says this, then do that. So in any event, I can make this picture light up by issuing a command. Basically, I say Alexa trigger test Pi, because for the test the Raspberry Pi. In any event, let's go ahead and do it. Alexa trigger test Pi. So it says, sending that to IFTTT, it goes to IFTTT, it comes back, the Raspberry Pi is on Wi-Fi, and Bob's your uncle, the lights light up, and the little piece is there, okay? Very, very simple project, but I wanted you to see that you can have sort of these interactions, so you can talk to your Amazon Echo and have them do real-world things. The other thing I really like about the Amazon Echo now is that you can have a string of things, which they call a routine. You can have a string of things, and you can have it do all of these different pieces. All right, so what we're going to do right now, I said we were going to do a project, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to turn these lights off, and then I'm going to show you how I turn those lights off, and then we're going to do it, because it literally takes like 5 minutes. Okay, so to turn these lights on or off, the studio lights, I simply say, Alexa, turn off studio lights. Okay. Studio lights go off. Alexa, turn on studio light 1. Okay. Alexa, turn on studio light 2. Okay. So, simple, simple, simple. Now, why else do I like this? Well, once I have these lights so that I can do that, I can have a routine. So when I'm out here in the studio, when I get ready to leave, I can tell my Amazon Echo that I'm done. I'm not sure about that. I can tell my Amazon Echo that I'm done. And what it will then do is it knows if I'm leaving, turn off the lights, turn down the heat. It reminds me to turn off the main heater to make sure that that one's off. Do this. It turns on some lights when I'm going into the house because it's dark between here and there. And I can do all of that by just saying, Alexa, I'm finished. Alexa, I'm finished.
No problem. Give me a minute to shut everything off.
Okay. Now she's going to run through.
The studio is shut down. I turned on the light in the airlock. Don't forget to turn the heat down. Remember to take stuff into the house. And don't stay away too long. You have to keep those creative juices flowing.
Thank you. That was very nice. That's very inspirational. All right, so you get the idea. So you can, by one, and I have it play some music because I'm usually go, Alexa, stop. Alexa, turn on studio lights. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. So, and then let's take that one step further. Another reason that I'm really excited about the Amazon Echo, I've got another video.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Back in the other 99 videos, I talked about the Rovia, which is an Amazon Echo that's the size of a cigarette lighter, plugs into your car, uses the Wi-Fi, uses the internet through your phone to be totally connected. So I actually have Amazon Echo right in the car. I can use it to make phone calls, which is a new feature, by the way. I can use it to make phone calls. I can use it to send text messages. And then I can use it to do any of these things. So while I'm driving, I can say, turn off the studio lights, and she will send the command to turn off the studio lights, or open the door, or make sure the door is locked, or do this or do that. And that thing's $35 to have that in your car. So in any event, you want to take a look at some of those videos. All right, so how do we do these lights? Well, there's the easy way, and then there's the not so easy way. The easy way is that you can buy power strips, power plugs, cords that are already set to work with the Amazon Echo. I'll put some links in the description below this afterwards. Excuse me, they're very, very cheap. They're like 20 bucks. It takes like 2 minutes to set up. You plug it in the wall. You get it. You get your phone. You make the two talk. It's very, very simple to do. So that's one way of doing it. The second way of doing it, this is for the next level up, or you guys that like to tinker, or you have some specialized things. Again, did a huge video on this one. These are the Sonoff Wi-Fi switches, which, by the way, these work off the Wi-Fi. So you don't need to have any hubs. These are not Zigbee or Z-Wave. If you don't know what any of that crap is, don't worry about it. But what I'm saying is the only thing that these need to work is you have to have Wi-Fi in your house, or Wi-Fi wherever, outside. Who cares? As long as there's a Wi-Fi signal that you can tell this to talk to, this thing will know. You can control this thing to turn this thing off and on. So anyway, so I love these things. These are $5 a piece. You can get them down to like $2 or $3 if you buy like 10 or 15 of them at a time. And I love these things. And I love these things for a couple of different reasons. Yes, you can buy the plugs and the power strips. And we already said those are 15, 20, 25, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all right, no big deal. But sometimes I just want to have something controlled that maybe I don't want to have that plug. And I don't want to have to worry about if that plug goes missing. So for example, on these studio lights, which is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little example right here. I just cut the cord, put this in line with the cord. Now it's never going to go anywhere. It belongs to that unit, so I don't have to worry about it. And it's only $5. So I can do things. So for example, I did that to my son's vaporizer. I did that to my son's lava lamp because he leaves it on, or it gets really hot. I have a sensor, so if it senses that it's getting really hot, it shuts off the lava lamp. Okay? So in any event, let's just take a quick look at these, and then we're going to actually do one. Okay, so these are $5. $5. $5. All right, and again, before some of you say, "Oh, I can't do anything," there's only 4 screws. Okay, there's 2 screws where the wire comes in. There's 2 screws where the wire comes out, and that's it. It doesn't take that long. So, for example, we're going to take and make this. I was going to do the Christmas lights, and I started to take the Christmas lights off the tree, and certain people in my house got very upset, like, what was I doing with the Christmas lights? And I tried to explain that it was for science, but they were having none of it. All right, so obviously I can just take and plug this in, okay? And think about that for a minute. For those of you, I remember when I grew up, okay, we had these in the window. All right, we had these in the window, and we turned them on, but my father didn't want to leave them on at night. So at like 11 o'clock at night, I had to listen to them go all the way up through the house and turn each one of these on and off, yada, yada, yada. So it was kind of a pain. Now, you wouldn't necessarily want to put one of those $15 or $20 ones in there, you got like, what, freaking 10 of these in the windows. All right, this is $200. It's a little pricey, but we can do these. These are only $5. Okay, so, and I can do it one of two ways. If I was going to be, I'm going to be lazy. If I was not going to be lazy, I would just put it right in there. I would wire it up, and then you just put it right in there. That actually would help, because that's the other thing. What happens when you try to do these? These things fall all over the place, so they're not really all that helpful. Okay, so very, very simple. So when you get one of these units, it is marked. Sorry, my eyesight is going here. I don't have my OnePlus readers. It is marked like in and out. Yeah, there it is. So we're marked in and out, and we have what's L for load and N for neutral, and then we have L for load and N for neutral. The neutral, by the way, if you don't know, you can always look this up on the internet, but you may not have noticed, but on a cord, usually there's one part of the cord that has a rib on it or a strip or something, and that's the neutral. Okay, so we now know which one is the neutral. Now again, you can put these either end. We're just gonna sacrifice this one, so we're gonna put it down on this end. So all I'm gonna do is take it, cut it. I'm going to try and cut it. Okay. Okay, cut it, got it. I'm going to just strip this down. Try and do this for you in real time, folks. Now, one of the other things that you can do while you're doing this, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. One of the things I'm going to cover in some of these later videos is, you know, obviously I want to share this information with you, and so yes, the likes and the subscribes do actually help me figure out what things you're interested in, what things you're not interested in, okay? And whether you appreciate it. You know, I did one the other day on internet security, which I know is kind of a boring subject, but I'm very concerned because a lot of the people that I deal with were not taking adequate precautions. And again, I'm not one of these, you know, oh, we got to blah, 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 but there's so many hacks, so many things going on. So all I do is just strip that, by the way. There's so many hacks and so many things going on. You saw one the other day, 500 million. Now, I went back to look at it because I thought that was a misprint. So 500 million people's information is possibly floating around out there. In fact, it's probably definitely, they just don't want to say it because people are going to freak out. So 500 million people's information out there. So anyway, so I did a video on, you know, what do you do and how do you do it? And you guys liked it. And you guys said, please keep doing more. So we've actually done 3 of them thus far. I have another 2 to go where I told you how to use security keys. That's my security key right there, my Yubico security key. And very easy to use once you understand what's going on, but you're gonna have to get used to using that. All right, so I have my 2 things. Let me just see which one is which here. Alexa, turn on desk lamp. Alexa, turn on desk lamp.
Okay.
All right. So that is the neutral right there. Okay, so now we use our device. I just need a screwdriver. I'm trying to do all this for you in real time. So in any event, so that helps. Now, for those of you who say, oh, you also make tons of money. You don't make that. The number of, so what I'm going to do now, this is the piece here. I'm going to put these 2 wires in where it says output. So I'm going to put the one with the edge, which as we said was the neutral. I'm just going to stick that in there and screw it down. So in any event, the amount of money that I personally make off of YouTube is next to nothing. It's basically about $50 a month, and I probably spend about $300 or $400 a month buying things to do. So in any event, while I do love doing this for you guys, if you guys want to show me some love, you certainly can do that. One of the reasons I'm doing the streams is that if I show you something, you say, hey, you know what? That does help me out. I would ask, help me out. There's a super chat button right there. Of course, it's the one that looks like a $, of course. It's a super chat button, and you can click on that, and you can just send money. Now, I know that sounds like a kind of a radical thing to do, but you can just say, hey, you know, if it's worth $1, if you would have paid $1 to get that information and I gave it to you, that really helps. To get $1 from YouTube, I have to have something like 50,000, 60,000 people look at it, and then I get $1. So you're doing $1 is the same. You have the same power as 50 or 60,000 people. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so I put those two in there. Okay, that's all I did. I'm going to do the same thing on the other end with the same 2 wires. Just make sure I know which one is my, okay, there it is there. Put that in, and you can see this doesn't take that long. These don't take that long to do. So we're going to be doing a lot more videos, and I really appreciate you guys. I get so jazzed when you guys actually send an email and ask a question. I've talked to a few of you on the phone, and I really I get very excited by it. Okay, so that's one. Just want to do the other one real quick. You can see this doesn't take that long. I normally would be doing this at a desk with a magnifying glass, but because I love you guys, I'm going to just do this here like this real quick. Okay, I just got to tighten that down, and then we should be done. Be done with the hard part anyways. All right, so open that up, push that in there, tighten this down. Okay. As long as nothing's touching, I just want to make absolutely sure we got that is really, really close. Okay, only has to work once, right guys? As long as it doesn't blow up my face, we're all set. Okay, and if it does, hey, we're on YouTube, and maybe I can make some money that way. Okay, so now we have our candle all set up. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. Again, hopefully we won't kill ourselves here. Okay. All right. And let's make sure. Okay. So what happens is as soon as you plug it in, you'll see a green light that blinks on it. That lets me know that it's getting power. And there's actually a manual button. So if I push that button, I should be able to turn this light on and off. Let's see. Is that on there? There we go. Okay. Making a liar out of me. There we go. This is live. I was getting nervous there for a second. All right, so I push that button. I can turn it on and off with that. Okay, so now what do I do? Okay, so now what we do, on these ones, it is a piece of software called eWeLink. eWeLink. Okay, so we're going to come over to eWeLink. eWeLink, where is it on my phone? Where is it? Where is it? eWeLink, there it is. Okay, eWeLink, I got it. Okay, and now it says to add a new device. I click on it. It says push and hold the button until the light blinks. So I'm going to push and hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it until it blinks. Okay, it's now blinking. I'm now going to click next. It's asking me which Wi-Fi it should use. Now, one of the things on a lot of these devices is that they will only work with 2.4. So you got to make sure you're using the old style 2.4 or it will not work. Okay, let me just make sure. Okay, I think that's 2.4. Okay, so I actually, obviously in most houses you have a 2.4 and a 5. I found the 2.4. So I'm going to come back here to eWeLink. eWeLink, okay? And that's still blinking, so I think we're all set for right now. I'll hit next. It says, okay, what's the password? Okay, we're all set. All right. Now it says it's going to try and connect. It takes up to a minute sometimes, and now it was already in that pairing mode, so hopefully it won't take that long to do. Hopefully this will work. Okay. It says it found a second generation device. This is going pretty good. Okay. So we'll just give that a second. It says registering the device, looking even better. Okay, now it says what do we want to call it? Now whatever we call it, that's how we'll address it. We'll call it candle. And you could call it, you know, candle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, doesn't make a difference. And then you could group them all together. Okay, so candle is now in EWLink, and I now should be able to turn that on and off. Real time, you saw me do it. Okay, now, how did we get so that Amazon Echo does that? Very simple. We go into the Amazon Echo app, which is the Amazon, I don't want to say her name, app. We go in there, we go to skills, and we search EWLink, because they've already made one. They only had to make it once, so they made it once. So then we add the EWLink. Now, when I set up my EWLink, I put in my email address and my password. So when I go into the skill, it's asking me for my email address and my password. That's how it knows, which, by the way, it says, actually, Corey just got to work, so she must have gone to work late. In any event, these two devices, these talk to each other. They use, so it's very secure because it uses your username and password. Okay, so once we put that in, at this point, Amazon Echo knows how to talk to EWLink, and EWLink knows how to talk to my devices. So the last thing I have to do is I have to tell Amazon Echo to discover the new devices. And what it does is it goes through and looks. And half the time she lies. She comes back and says, I didn't find anything new, but then she finds whatever we had. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and say, Alexa, discover devices.
Starting discovery. This will take up to 20 seconds. If you haven't already, please enable the smart home skill for your smart device from the Alexa app.
Okay, so we've already done that. And like I said, it usually takes her about a minute. She comes back and she says, I didn't find anything, but then she finds whatever it is. I don't know why she lies to me.
I found candle. To control it, say, turn on candle. To rename it, tap the name on the screen.
You gotta love it. I'm loving this. This is usually when you do a live thing, it doesn't always go right. Okay, so now at this point we can say, Alexa, turn on candle.
Okay.
Alexa, turn off candle.
Okay.
Now, if I've been successful, you guys are going, OMG, is it really that simple? Yes, it's really that simple. And not only can I control it from here, I obviously can control it from any of my Amazon Echoes. And as I said earlier, I can control it with the Amazon Echo in the car as well. So that's what goes on this channel. I want to show you these types of technologies. Like I said, if you want to just go and get the device, you can go and get those. Same deal. All you would do is when you buy that $20 piece, they will tell you what software to do. You will do that same process that we did where you pair the two together. You will load the skill in and then you will add it. Certainly you can do that. If that's easier for you to do, by all means do it that way. For those of you guys who want to tinker and don't want to spend a lot of money, you saw what I just did for $5, and that's $5. Like I said, you can get these down to $2, and there's actually a little even mini tiny board that's like $1.50. So you could go and I want you to think of all the stuff that you can do, and you can group them together. So like I said, I can say candle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I can say all of those devices go in a group called Christmas candles. And then I can just say, turn on Christmas candles, and it'll turn them all on, and turn off Christmas candles, and it'll turn them all off. So I want you to think about all of those pieces that you now can turn on and off using something like that. For example, I just ordered a switch. I ordered a switch because I wanted to use something powerful, and that was, it looks like a safe. This is actually my little mini fridge. And I was getting ready to do this project tonight, and I noticed it's incredibly loud. And I'm like, I need to be able to turn that off when I'm making a video. So I went and I turned it off, and I said, you know what, I'm going to forget to turn it back on. Now I can, use that. I can make it part of the other pieces. Perhaps when I say I'm leaving, she turns the fridge back on. When I say I'm getting ready to do a video, she turns it off. So those are the kinds of things that I want you to think about. All right, last one is for tonight, because we did so well, and this was just a test to see how well the equipment works and so on and so forth. And I'm doing a video on this. To do live streaming is very, very simple. The software is free. It's called, actually I'm using Streamlabs OBS, but there's Streamlabs OBS and OBS. In any event, very, very simple, easy to use software that will stream and do a whole bunch of other stuff. We can do some transitions, and in fact, I don't want to get too sidetracked here, but one of the reasons that I preferred to use the OBS is that, again, it works here, but it's up through the cloud, and then they just came out with, let's see if I can find it here, they just came out with a app. You know, you would think that I should be able to find it with being able to see it. All right, in any event, don't want to get slowed down. But there's an app where I can actually control, oh, there it is, right there, where I can control what you see from here. And again, to get a remote switcher used to be like, it could, she must have forgotten something at work because she's already left work. Okay, all right, so that's giving me another message. In any event, I can actually switch. Okay, so so I'm actually controlling the software in the cloud with my phone, and I can switch between different sources. Again, absolutely fantastic. Okay, so the last one, like I said, is IFTTT. You should take a look at that because you can use that to pull other pieces together. So you can say when this happens, because once they're in there, EWLink is in IFTTT. So if I go to IFTTT and I put in my username and password, I now can say, well, when the washing machine breaks down, turn on the candles. Or when it becomes sunset. When it's sunset, turn the candles on. When it's sunrise, turn the candles off. Okay, so you can do all kinds of great and easy stuff like that. That's what we do on the channel. Let me just go over to the chat window real quick and see. Oh, you guys are, so I'm not actually talking to myself. Let me move over here a little bit here. I thought I was talking to myself. Apparently I'm not. Okay, haven't found any password that work with the Android, the Yubikey. Even Dashlane does. I'm going to be doing more on the Yubikey with LastPass and some other things. I've already showed you guys, if you want to go back and look at the other ones, I already showed you that one, you can use it as a password generator by using the static password that's in here. I've showed you guys how to use it as, I think I already lost, yes, I just put that up the other day, how to use this for instead of using Google Authenticator, because the codes are stored on the key and not the authenticator, which means I can pick up any phone and tap it and get a code when I need a code. So if I'm out and about and I, you know, for whatever reason I don't have my phone and I can just take anybody's phone, tap this, and get my code that I need for that. So I'm going to talk about those pieces as well. There was something else. Oh, I wanted to talk about using your Yubikey to get in and out of your computer. So if you have a computer, that's fantastic. If you have a Chromebook like I'm using here, it automatically uses that because it's in order to log into the computer, it has to log into my Gmail account, and you can't get into my Gmail account without this. So every time I open this Chromebook, it requires that I put this key in, and I've done that specifically because I do have a tendency to leave this Chromebook places. Please tell us about VMware and DexStation. All right, I'm going to be doing some more. They broke Remote Desktop when they came out with a new version of Dex. It's schizophrenic. So on the Note 9, it allows you to split screen. So sometimes it thinks it's on one screen and sometimes it thinks it's on another screen. And that is it's kind of messing things up. So I need to take a look at that. Let me just make sure where we are. Live chat. Am I looking in the live chat? And there we go. Please tell us about VMware. Okay, we will take a look at that. We're back. Okay, so again, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. You've helped me prove that this software actually works, which is great. So we will be doing a live broadcast for the 100th show, which I think is going to be like next week. I'm trying to line some stuff up. And I've got some guests that will be coming in that I think you actually will be impressed to see. So we're going to bring some guests in for that. And I'm going to try and do Hangouts like this, where I do a project with you in real time. Sometimes it'll be a physical one like we just did. Sometimes it'll be one. I'll try and do that with you in real time. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Again, if you want to do the super chat and send $1, that'd be fantastic. Like I said, it saves me 60,000 people looking at it. And again, if I helped you at all, 50 cents. It encourages me to go ahead, and then it also keeps my wife off my back, because I probably, like I said, spend $200 a week either buying equipment or buying lights or buying anything like that, any of it. So that, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, please tell your friends, please send me your questions like these ones here. That's how I get a lot of the, try to figure out what some of the things out you guys want to take a look at and see. So that's it for tonight. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm Warman Beckles, and until the next time, this is the High Tech Nomad signing